So I am at AutoZone buying some bonding primer to spray on the 3D printed Predator. So this is the Predator book nook that I bought on Mercari from a guy seller who makes them at home. And it came in a plain white. And then I already primed it with the spray paint. Here's some sandpaper that I'm gonna use to sand a little bit of the texture. I didn't really do that much sanding because it didn't need it. And I'm also gonna sand the sides because there's some texture and some grit. And this sanding sponge helps a lot to make it a lot smoother. And it'll be easier for painting as well. The bonding primer, the spray paint, it won't come off with this sponge. So I think it should be fine. Well, it is fine after I painted it. It didn't come off or anything, so I'll be using acrylic paint to be painting this entire book nook. This is my first time painting a 3D printed book nook or anything 3D printed, so I kind of just freehanded everything, and yeah, so I just used reference photos from the internet just to figure out how I would paint this. Used a lot of flesh tones, and then I used a lot of dark in the outside just so it can feel like it's 3D and more lifelike. And I just used Michael's acrylic paint, nothing fancy. And some people use different kinds of paints. I've seen people use spray paint, like airbrush guns, and I didn't have that. I'm really good with acrylic paint, so I think I did really good for this. And yeah, those are the fangs. I did more of a yellowish tone, so they look more realistic and aged. Now I'm painting the inside of the mouth, and I did like a beige kind of pinkish tone for the overall inside, and then just added more definition with some reds and some pinks to make it more lifelike. And I use a small brush to get into the inside of the mouth because working with those talons, I did not want to break it. Those talons were they're fangs, I think, but they're just really sensitive. I didn't want to risk breaking them because it would be hard to repair that. So I was really careful with using a small brush to get inside the mouth and the little crevices. And as you can see, I use a little napkin on the side, and that's just for me to brush off excess paint. If you kind of dry brush acrylic paint, it gives a airbrushed effect, so it kind of looks more realistic. So an airbrush effect makes it look seamless. You know, there's not like a paint by number look. It looks more, yeah, seamless, effortless. It looks more realistic, and that's what I was going for. And now for the eyes, the moment I've been waiting for. I was really careful with these. I am adding the pupils, just solid black. I was really careful and make tiny little pupils. I wanted him to look like rageful and scary looking. I feel like they did a great job of showing emotion in the predator's face in Badlands, so I wanted to mimic that in this art piece. And now I'm using white to add the highlight of the pupils really carefully. Just a small little dot is all it needs, and it's pure white. I'm not adding any color to that white. I want them to be really popping out. Oh, I'm also using pure white on the ends of the fangs, make them more realistic, and I use my finger to dab it because it makes it look more airbrushed. So that dry brush technique is really good if you want something to look more realistic and seamless. And yeah, finished it all up. That is the final look of it. And I didn't film the part, but I did use nail polish, clear nail polish, and a UV light to cure the fangs and just the eyes, the pupils. So it gives it a glossy finish on the fangs and the eyes. And it was my first time doing that. I didn't research it. I just kind of went for it, and it actually turned out really good. So if you guys want to use a gloss, I recommend using nail polish, clear nail polish, and a UV light. And I'm just using red acrylic paint to do the outside of the box or the book nook. So this is the final look of the predator in the book nook. It turned out way better than I expected. It's my first time painting a 3D printed model, so I was just really excited on how it turned out. It exceeded my expectations, and I'm really excited about the results. This is a birthday gift from my girlfriend, and she really liked it. I plan on doing more painting of 3D models in the future, and you can see there is the gloss finish I did on the eyes and the fangs, or talons, I believe that's what they're called. It looks amazing. And I did some on the little teeth as well. I was too scared to gloss the entire thing because I didn't know if it would ruin it, so I just experimented on some small details. And I put it along some books so you guys can get an idea how big it is and how it would look on a shelf. It is placed on a table just to give you guys an idea. But yeah, it looks really cool. I love it. I didn't even know these 3D printed model book nooks existed until I went on Macari and started looking at 3D printed models to paint, and just went down a rabbit hole and yeah, seeing that there's a big 3D printing community on YouTube and reselling Depop, Macari. These book nooks are one of a kind, and I think they are great for gift giving. If you're creative, you can just paint something really simple and gift it to somebody, because that is just a cool custom gift. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first time making something like this on YouTube, but it won't be my last. I want to look into buying bigger 3D models to paint in the future, and yeah, just something more detailed. Thank you again for watching my video. I will see you in the next one.